So, this is Alex, I'm glad you're tuning in again, and let's get right to it. A players. Your team is pretty much the destiny of your business, the destiny of what you will build or what you will fail to build. And the first thing I want to share with you is you have to ruthlessly filter out the wrong people. This is the wrong place, this is the worst place ever to be a people pleaser, because in my experience from working with clients and from working with myself as well, I know it can be very, very difficult to say no to the wrong people, to say no to people who almost fit the position you want to fill, who almost are a perfect fit, or you just don't want to be rude, you just don't want to, well, say no to anybody. However, this is the worst place to be a people pleaser. So be willing to say no, because let's reframe it like this. You are building your family, especially your core team is like a family. You're building your business with them, and without them, without the right people, your business would fail or crumble. And if you let the wrong people inside your core inner team, inside your core inner business, well, good night. That's pretty much it. So think about it like this. Would I let this person sit on the table with my family? Would I allow this person to enter my personal home? Would I allow this person to build strong relationships and have an influence on my family? Because everybody will influence each other. And if there's just one wrong person in the core team, in your core team of your business, well, this will drag everybody down. Because let's look at it like this. If you want to attract A players, if you want to attract the right people for your business, well, they will be repulsed if they see a team where B players or even C players are working. Hence, don't even let them in. Screen really, really, really hard in your applications in terms of who you are letting in your business and who you are denying entry to your core team. However, to actually be able to do this, you need to know what you are looking for. And this means you have to define the different roles. You have to define what character traits, what mindsets, what kind of experience, what kind of worldview, what kind of personality these people have to be, depending on the position that you want to fill. And the more specific you are, the better. Because the more specific you are, the easier it is for you to actually disqualify or qualify people. Because if somebody sends you an application and you actually invite them to talk to you, it's very easy for a lot of people to make a good impression maybe the first hour, the first 2 hours, the first 3 hours, because everybody can look like a professional, everybody can be cool, everybody can, well, slip into a mask or a persona that fits the position for a couple hours, but after a while, the true self will come through. There will always be these little cracks in the mask, and then suddenly you realize, oh shit, I hired the wrong person. And the more you know what you're actually looking for, and even better what you are not looking for, you can, like a checklist, like checkboxes, actually disqualify them. And you see, okay, do they have this, do they have this, do they have this? They don't have this, they don't have this, they don't have this. And by this you can actually qualify them really, really hard, or disqualify them really, really hard, which you, again, should be doing. Don't even let anybody in the team, because it's always easier to disqualify first than letting somebody go later, right? Think about that. When was the last time you fired somebody, you had to let somebody go? It's even worse than just saying no to somebody and not letting them in the family at all. One example I like to give is from an entrepreneur from Germany, Stefan Merath. I was at one of his seminars and had the honor to learn a lot from him actually. And he gave an example of one of his clients who goes through 180 calls or 180 meetings with new applicants before he hires one person. Imagine that, 180 applicants face to face. Not just denying the application at all, but actually inviting them, talking to 180 people, and then just picking one out of them. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Well, it is, but that's how you should treat it. I mean, if I look at my team right here, if I look at Luke, if I look at Marian, if I look at the rest of my team, I'm not just letting anybody in my core team. I don't just want to work with anybody, because I did the mistake as well that I just took the first best videographer I found, the first best assistant, the first best salesman, the first best web admin. And it always went down downhill very, very fast. So to not do this, screen hard, screen a lot. Furthermore, if you are somebody who is good with people, who has acceptable or good or even great social skills, and if you're somebody who can read people very well, then listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. If you're somebody who's more a logical person, maybe you're a programmer or you're somebody who's very stuck in their head, there's nothing wrong with that, but then maybe don't listen to your intuition, but get other people to talk to them who are more the people, I guess if you want to call it like this, the people, who have better social skills, who have better intuition in terms of reading people, and ask them for their opinion. Maybe ask 3, 4 or 5 of your friends or other acquaintances or team members who are very good with people, what they think about the person. If you are very good with people and have good social skills, well, then just listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. I remember, for example, the first time Marianne and I met, we talked, and we actually just wanted to talk on the phone for 15 minutes, and around 2 hours later, we noticed it's pretty much a perfect fit. Suddenly 2 hours went by and just felt right. We went to Kiev right away, worked there for a couple of weeks together, now working here together, and it's an amazing, amazing fit. However, I also made the mistake with another videographer where I thought to myself, okay, I need to fill this position right now. I need it right now. So I just picked the first best that was, well, the best of the bunch that sent an application. And it was a bad decision. Actually, as a quick side note, you should never be in a situation where you need to hire somebody right now. If you need to hire somebody right now, you can't think straight because suddenly you're desperate, you're needy, because you actually need somebody for the position in this moment. To avoid this, be interviewing constantly. Have a couple of calls or a couple of applications per week. I do at least 2 or 3 per week just to keep the pipeline going, just to be in the flow of actually interviewing people, and also to sharpen my skills, to sharpen my decision skills. Maybe I let somebody in for a couple of weeks just to check it out if it works well with the team, and then I let them go, or I tell them, hey, it was great. Or just to have a pool of applicants that you can choose from in the future, because maybe you are interviewing somebody right now that is actually a perfect fit for your company, but you don't have anything to do for them right now. Well, talk to them, get their contact details, make a mental note, make a note on your computer, and then when the time is right, you can just call them up and tell them, hey, you remember when we talked? Yeah, back then I didn't have a position for you. Right now, however, you're a perfect fit for the team. Do you want to join? And most people, if they're good A players and if your team is made up of A players, they gladly take the opportunity. That means so far we have the following steps. Define who you need, who you want in your team, what kind of personality they need to have, what kind of traits, what kind of mindset, and then screen very, very hard. And don't be afraid to say no to literally dozens or hundreds of people, because do you really want them near your family, near your core team? And then always, always, always be interviewing new people, because you never know when you need somebody, and you never want to be in a situation that you need somebody right now. Right? Just build the pool of possible applicants, of possible A players that you can invite to your team, be interviewing constantly, and then you always have a pool to pick from when you have an open position. Let's take this point and go a little bit into networking, because you have a network, right? You have friends, you have acquaintances, you have other business people, other entrepreneurs, other self-employed people who you know. If not, well, then better start getting to know a lot of people who are on the same journey, or who are further ahead, or maybe who are just starting. Because if I look at my team right now, I pretty much got almost everybody from people that I know. From friends, from acquaintances, from business partners, from mentors, because I just activated my network. I just asked all of them, hey, who do you know who would be able to fill this position? Or who do you know who's a perfect fit for this role? And of course, they are the same principles apply. I'm still screening hard. I'm still saying no to a lot of people. However, they are pre-screening for you. They won't connect you to people who are not that good, who are not fitting, because people who trust you and people who you trust, they will give you an honest review, an honest opinion of the people they connect you with, which makes your job way easier, right? You don't have to go through all these hundreds of applicants, but you can actually just pick a couple that are pre-screened and then decide who of them is a perfect fit, which you should do with pretty much every applicant. Even if an applicant isn't coming from your network, if somebody applies for a job in your team, the first thing you should ask them is, okay, give me the context of 3 people that you used to work with. I want to talk to all of them. Because if this is a reliable person, if this is somebody that knows what they're doing and they're professional, it will be easy. It will be a piece of cake for them to name you 3 names and for them to tell you something good about the person. If they start to struggle, if they start to find excuses, or if they're not even willing to actually give you names of people they worked with, that's a big, big red flag, because that means, well, nobody is saying good stuff about them. I can actually tell a little side story, not that funny side story, but an old acquaintance of mine who started his own business about 6-7 years ago as well, and who started off fine, but after some point he started scamming people. After some point he started talking bad about people behind their back. He did all these little fake things, these little phony things that left a bad impression. And at this point he's pretty much left out of the network. Everybody who wants to work with him, of course, comes to people like me or to other friends or acquaintances of him, or ex-friends and ex-acquaintances of him, and nobody has anything good to tell about him. Why? Well, because he did a bad job, because he fucked people over, because he scammed people, because he wasn't honest, he wasn't authentic, he wasn't, like Brad Blanton would say, radically honest. That's something you need to do, right? Especially if you want to build a team of A players. You can't bullshit them. You have to be radically authentic, you have to be radically transparent and radically honest in terms of what you want from them, what you need from them, and also what you can give them. Because if you want to attract those people to your company, well, why the hell would somebody this talented, somebody with this mindset, somebody this hardworking, somebody with this experience, why would they choose you over any other business out there? Ask yourself this question. Why would they choose you and not any other business out there? If you have an answer, great. If you have a good answer, great. If you don't have an answer, well, this is something you should meditate about. This is something you should write about, because in my experience, A players, people who are really going above and beyond what you expect from them, they're not motivated by money, because they can get money. If I think about one friend here in Sofia who used to work for a big German company here, he left because he didn't like it anymore. He made them over, I think, 2 or 3 million euros in revenue last year. He's the definition of an A player, and they couldn't offer him anything. So he left and went to a different company. He started something else, because there he had the chance to gain more experience. There he had the chance to learn more. He had the chance to work with other A players, and not just a chance to make money. Because somebody who's competent, which is somebody that you want, right? They won't have any problem making money. They won't have any problem finding a job. For them, it's more about picking and choosing the right one. So think about your business. What are you offering them that nobody else can offer them? Maybe it's guidance, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's a team of other A players, maybe it's a unique experience, maybe it's unique experience to grow, or new career chances that I can use this as a step to a bigger career, maybe shares in the company. Whatever it is, think about what you can offer them that nobody else can offer them, so you are more attractive than anybody else. An enormous step to making this easier is to actually have an emotional vision. To not just have a big vision, because let's face it, most entrepreneurs have big visions, right? Woohoo, great. But you have a vision that connects with people emotionally, that clicks with them and draws them in. Because that's the first thing you need to do. You need to create buy-in in the people that want to work for you or that are already working with you. Because if you don't have buy-in, there's no sense of community, there's no sense of, well, that we are one team, that we are one family, and we're all moving to the same direction. If you can create this in your current team, if you're just building a team or you already have a team, then you're good to go. Because this emotional vision, this emotional pull will draw the right people in. A great example would probably be Tesla, right? Who has this Elon Musk, who has this great vision of going to Mars. And look how many engineers, how many people who are experts and just very, very competent in their field of knowledge are drawn to it. They dream of working there because he has this insane vision that connects emotionally with people. Doesn't mean that you have to have a vision like going to Mars. I don't have a vision like going to Mars. I have a completely different vision. However, it connects with certain people emotionally. And that is very, very, very crucial. It's kind of like your personal life. If you know who you are and where you want to go, you automatically attract the right people who are able to help you with this and who want to help you with this. It's the same with a business. Think about a business like something like this. It's a body. You are pretty much the head. You are deciding where we're going. You are the top of everything. And if you're not working right, well, everything else can't work right. And you have to figure out, okay, what do my arms have to look like? What do my body have to look like? Which kind of legs do I need? Meaning, okay, what kind of customer service do I need? What kind of marketing? What kind of sales? What kind of products do I have? And how do I want the business to look? You need this vision. You need this clarity to actually say, okay, this is something we don't want, this is something we want. And the people who want the same thing in their life will get drawn to this. Just look at different businesses. Every business has a different vision. Every business has a different structure of their teams. Every business is built differently. I'm thinking about the business of one of my mentors. He, for example, has a very module-like business. He has his support module, he has his sales module, his marketing module, and they never talk to each other. It's just that the people in the module talk to each other, but not between them. So there's a feeling of belonging in the sales team, in the marketing team, in the development team, in the customer support team, and this worked great for him. For me, this wouldn't work. I want everybody to know everybody. I want everybody to have a great relationship with everybody else. Sure, this is maybe not possible if you have 150 people in the company. We're like 5-6 people, so that's a different story. So this is something completely different. Two different visions of a business. What is your vision? What is your goal where you want to go? And what kind of people is this vision attracting? I remember one entrepreneur I had a consulting with, I think it was last year in summer, where I was just asking him this question because he was thinking about expanding his IT team, his development team, and he was just not getting the right people. I think they had around 25 or 30 people at this time. And I just asked him this one question. Okay, what is your vision? What is your story? Where do you want to go? And he had no answer for that. And because of this, he was just attracting random people who were, of course, doing good work, but they didn't have buy-in. They were not committed to the vision of the company. And henceforth, they weren't working as creative, as disciplined, as focused as any other team out there. You need to have this direction, especially if you're leading them, which you are, right? Everything stands on your shoulders, basically. Your personal development and your direction, your focus, your emotional drive in life as a leader will determine what kind of people you will attract and if they are staying. That's a completely different story. It's one thing to attract them, it's another thing to actually keep them. Because especially A players, especially people who are developing into leaders themselves, you need to nourish them and give them new opportunities all the time, which means you need to develop yourself the most. You need to have the biggest clarity. You need to be somebody who's reading every day, who's developing themselves every day, who's going to seminars, who's watching videos like this, who's writing a diary, who's meditating, who's doing something for their own personal development all the time. Which reminds me of a quote that I heard a couple of years ago and that I read a couple of years ago in a book. And it compared entrepreneurship to actually extreme sports. And in an extreme sport, you're just playing the game a couple days or weeks per year. Most of the time you're training. Think of a fighter, right? He has a couple of fights a year, but most of the other time, well, he's training. In entrepreneurship, we often fall into the trap of performing, then we forget the training part, which is really, really important, which is determining how much you're developing and how much your business is developing. So start meditating every day, start reading every day, start writing a journal every day, start thinking about your vision, start thinking about your own personality every day, because your personality doesn't just determine the direction your business is going, it also determines the success or failure that your business will have. Because you are the head of the business. All the other stuff, yeah, it's not working without the brain. It's not working without the head. And only the brain can think about, okay, I need this, and I need this kind of people for my right arm, this kind of people for my stomach, this kind of people for this product, right? Think about the body metaphor. And if you're not taking care of this, well, you and your team are not going anywhere. So let's summarize everything. Depending on your personal development and depending on your vision of your business, of the goal you want to achieve, you will attract certain people. So This is the first thing. You need to know where you want to go, why you want to go there, and what kind of skills you need to learn to actually get there, and what kind of personality you need to develop. After that, you need to know which roles do you need to fill, right? Like, okay, the arm, the leg. Think of the whole business like a body, and you are pretty much the brain, but you need this proportional body, right? After that, you need to know, okay, which character traits do these people need to have? Which character traits must they never have? What kind of mindset, what kind of vision they need to have for their own lives, what's their motivation, so you can actually filter them, so you can actually qualify or disqualify them. After that, be very strict about qualifying or disqualifying, and don't be afraid to say no to literally dozens or hundreds of people just to find this one right fit. Think about it like your family. Would you let this person inside of your family? Would you let this person spend time with your family and influence your family? If you have those people, well, let them work for you. Let them work for free for some time. Try it out. Get some let's call it reviews or some opinions from other people they worked with, and find out how they tick and see how they fit in your team, and make them buy into your vision. Because if they don't buy in, if they don't identify with your vision, well, then they can be the most competent person on earth. They can be the best and biggest, most badass A player out there. They will not stay in your company. They will actually leave. They will go somebody else, to somebody else who can offer them something better. And this is a very important point. Think about what you can actually offer them, what nobody else can offer those A players. And with this said, I hope you could get some gold nuggets out of this video, and now start implementing. Because if you don't implement this, well, it's dead knowledge, it's dead information in your brain, and it's just taking up space which you could use otherwise as well. So start implementing what clicked with you in this video. Start implementing the things that you didn't implement yet. Maybe you notice, oh, I'm already doing some of those things, but some of them, yeah, I'm not really doing them. Start implementing, start thinking about your vision, about your personal development, about what kind of people you need in your team. And of course, subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell next to it. And if you have any suggestions for further videos, or you have any questions regarding this video, comment down below. I read all the comments, and if it's a great question, then I will record a video in the future on this topic. And yeah, thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening. See you next time.